All right, let's dive right in today. We're heading to Australia, the land down under. So many cool facts about this place, and we're going to figure out what makes it so special.
Going through all this stuff about Australia, what strikes me is how it's not just like one thing. You've got these huge deserts, but then you've got these amazing coral reefs. It's a land of total contrasts.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to uncover some of those hidden stories. Like, what's really amazing to me? The dingo fence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever heard of it?
I have.
This thing's massive.
Yeah.
Over 5,600 kilometers long. It's the longest fence in the world, built to keep dingoes out of farmland.
It's a huge project. And it makes you think about how humans impact, the natural world. Dingoes are at the top of the food chain there, and whether they're around or not changes everything.
It's true. And you know what? Some people say the fences mess things up a bit. Like some native animals aren't doing as well. And in some places, there are even more kangaroos now.
Right, because the dingoes aren't there to, keep their numbers in check.
Exactly. And speaking of kangaroos, did you know there are more kangaroos than people in Australia?
Is that right?
Yeah, something like 50 million of them hopping around. But it's not just about the numbers, right? It's their cultural significance, too.
Absolutely. For Aboriginal Australians, kangaroos are like a symbol. They're in their stories, their art, their whole way of life. They represent all sorts of things like strength and resilience and that deep connection to the land.
That connection to the land is so important. And, it's funny, Australia's kind of in its own category. It's a country, but it's also a whole continent.
Yeah, that's right. And it's the smallest continent, but like the sixth biggest country in the world.
That's wild.
And being isolated for so long has made its plants and animals totally unique, like a living time capsule.
Like a snapshot back in time. And speaking of unique things, what about Lake Hillier? You ever heard of it?
I have.
It's this pink lake.
A pink lake?
Yeah,
Oh.
bright pink in Western Australia, and no one's really sure why it's that color.
So is it like always pink?
Yeah, all the time. Scientists have some ideas, though. Something is a type of algae. Others think it's these tiny bacteria that love salt. Nature's full of mysteries.
It really is.
And some of those mysteries can be a bit dangerous, like the box jellyfish, one of the most venomous creatures in the world.
It's true. Australia's got some pretty dangerous animals, but, it's important to remember they're just part of the ecosystem. Being respectful of their space and taking precautions is key.
Totally. Respect is everything. Now let's head inland to the outback. This place is vast. Most people live on the coast, but the outback is the heart of the country.
It really is. It's such a powerful symbol, that rugged beauty, that unforgiving nature. And Aboriginal cultures have been there for thousands of years, living in harmony with it all.
It's incredible. And speaking of wild things, did you know Melbourne's known for having 4 seasons in one day?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's crazy. You could have sunshine, then rain, then wind, all before lunch.
Sounds intense.
It is, but it all comes down to where Australia is and its weather patterns.
Right, it makes sense.
And you can't talk about Australia without mentioning Uluru, or Ayers Rock, as some people call it. This massive rock just rises up out of the desert.
348 meters high. But it goes even deeper underground.
Yeah, like 2.5 kilometers. It's mind-blowing.
It's more than just a big rock, though. To the Anangu people, it's sacred. It's been a part of their culture for a long, long time.
That spiritual connection is so important. And speaking of incredible sights, we've got to mention the Great Barrier Reef, the largest coral reef system on Earth.
You can actually see it from space. It's home to so many different kinds of marine life.
It's amazing, but it's facing some challenges. Climate change, pollution, you name it. Scientists are working hard to protect it, but it's a fragile thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, that was quite the adventure. We went from the outback to the Great Barrier Reef. Australia is a land of extremes, wonders, and important lessons.
It's not just about the surface, though. Every fact, every landmark, every animal has a story to tell. If you dig a little deeper, you'll find a whole world waiting to be discovered.
And who knows what other surprises are out there? Maybe a purple lake.
Yeah, maybe. You never know with Australia.
That's the beauty of it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See them.